Are we?
Yes.
Are we? Are we?
I mean, you can look at the stream if you want.
Are we?
Yes.
Are we?
Yeah, I'm
Are
hearing
we?
it now.
I mean, oh god, I
I
didn't the stream.
Could.
There, I muted the stream now.
Oh, there we are. That's weird.
Oh, oh, there's another.
Oh,
piece of candy.
Then. Oh my goodness.
That's all it took, guys.
Oh. All right. So last week we had episode 17, where we restarted. We didn't restart. We reconvened.
We restarted the campaign. I'm playing a paladin now.
Another exciting arc. Another part of the adventure here, set in the amazing campaign setting of Eberron, which was created by Keith Baker. My favorite setting of all time, mind you. But yes, so where we left off last week, our players had
dropped dice,
went to a dark alley where they were promised information in exchange for gold. However, the informant appeared to be somebody who was an assassin and tried to get the jump on our characters. And if you want to watch that episode, I will have it up on our YouTube channel tomorrow. And I'm going to try to get this one up as well tomorrow, so that way, if you want to play catch up, if you're new to the campaign, or maybe you missed something somewhere, you will have all that able to be watched, and you can watch from the really.
God, we're almost 20 episodes in, aren't we?
But yeah, you can watch from the beginning. Technically, we're at 19, but one was a two-parter. Remember, we had to go mask shopping, and for the masquerade.
Because Ash was afraid.
Them were some snazzy masks, though.
Oh, it was that was probably a really a brilliant section. Definitely like a fun couple of episodes.
I definitely got to enjoy Vampire Boy.
It was snazzy.
He's just a great guy.
He was a really good guy. He was a really good dancer.
Not as good as Phelan. Now
we never saw him dance.
No, we saw him dance. We never watched or danced with him.
You didn't dance with him, no.
No, we just saw him dance.
You crushed him.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, maybe later, and then never went back.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right, Phelan. Get out from under my thumb. I dare ya.
Oh, lordy.
Teach you to talk about me.
Where did we... Yes, now I remember where we are. So when we last left off last week, Lady Eldrin and Phelan and Casper had found a passage, like a riverboat, to take you guys deep into the jungle to a place known as the Giant's Hand, which is approximately 5 days from Stormrage, which is where you are now. Because you are behind Sir Garrick and his goons, his lackeys of the Emerald Claw, and you want to get there as quickly as you possibly can. And so you partook in an arrest at the safe house.
This is going to require more sea voyage, isn't it?
Not an ocean voyage, so it's going to be like a lot calmer. So, assuming there's no
river. That's what they said about the last river we sailed up, and that did not go well.
Yeah.
I'm taking bets.
I remember that.
I'm taking bets on what's going to happen to us, because our track record for boat rides ain't really the best. So I'm taking bets. If anyone wants to bet, giant attacks, things coming out of the water.
Most likely more things out of the water.
Undead.
Well, we're following Sir Garrick Krieg. It's only a matter of time that undead be finding us.
Other mercenary groups.
There could
Well-
be other. Yeah, you could run into like peaceful explorers or
Or not peaceful explorers.
peaceful inhabitants of the continent,
Or not
or
peaceful. I
peaceful
remember.
exotic monsters and animals
No,
that are.
I
I
just rolled the
think-
bones. Not looking good for us.
I think one of the words or one of the things that was used to describe this island a long time ago was elves with poison.
Oh, that's right.
And that's why I got the antidote.
That is a possibility. Yes.
Make sure you save one of those vials for your husband. He'll probably be needing
I
it.
think a lot of people got them. I have 3 antitox.
Yeah, mostly for you.
Can't you cure disease and poison or something?
No, I can. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, did you want me? Oh, I see.
Well, if we run out of antitoxin for everyone.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you guys want to do before you head to the docks? I guess would be my next question here.
Besides looking for a freaking dinosaur, which I know you've had on your docket since before I even really joined
I
you.
changed it from a dinosaur. I now want a dog. But also
I
so
could get
slightly
behind a
dinosaur.
word.
So slightly dinosaur also, but
I can get behind a war mastiff.
It's gonna be a corgi.
one.
Hey, I don't care.
A
I can
fat,
train
chubby
any-
corgi.
I can
want-
train anything to be attack dog. Watch it go straight. I'll teach that. If it's small, I'll make it go right for the nuts. It'll bite the Achilles tendon first and then the nuts.
I'm just
I
imagining
want-
some horrible monster, and you guys have it trained to attack, like fight. It just jumps into battle and just gets swallowed instantly.
And then you just watch as it bursts out like the alien creature from its stomach
No.
because it's going to eat its way out.
Well,
No.
I don't want I just want a pet dog. Have to be war dog, but also Burmese mountain dog.
It's another good one.
And big dog.
Well, lass, do you have anything you need to get done before we set sail?
I mean, what do we think we're gonna be needing on this here adventure?
I got all I need right here.
So it's hard to tell because like anything you're gonna need for the ship or the river portion will be provided probably by the ship.
Okay.
But getting into the temple where this place of creation is, you just don't know what to expect. You haven't time to do research on it. You just
I mean, you're
you're
welcome to...
literally like imagine Indiana Jones except the Nazis got they did get the Ark of the Covenant. Never mind. So
it's more like Indiana Jones, except for without knowing what he's going into.
yeah, you don't know what the Nazis found. Dun 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 dun.
I mean,
Okay,
lass,
Trip.
you're the smart one here.
I'm the smart one.
You're the one who gathers all sorts of manner of intelligence. Would you like to recruit anything for this, or?
Also, trademarks, Ben. Copyright strikes.
I did nothing of the sort. My
No,
vocal
I'm
talents are
warning
not
you.
close. My vocal talents are not close enough to any actual.
I'm just warning you. You get a copyright strike. It's not my fault.
It's okay. It'll only mute the audio of him humming it.
Ah, that's okay. If that happens, I will never stop laughing about it. So
My favorite thing is Twitch tells me I have no copyright strikes. I'm like, thanks, Twitch.
So,
Would I know? I don't really have any connections or anything on this island. I would assume so.
yeah, but something tells me you're good at getting information when you want it.
I mean, but what information do we want? Would be the thing.
Well, Maybe information about the jungle we're heading into, kind of critters we might be encountering out there.
Yeah.
Maybe getting some information about the place we're heading to.
Yeah.
Are there booby traps? Is it a known place for people to go and never come back from?
Yeah, I can look for that information. And whatnot.
I mean, I could probably get that information in about a week if we really want to chill for a bit, but something tells me you can get it a bit quicker than I can.
I mean, yeah.
Mine requires mine's the long game. I get people drunk a lot until they tell me what I want to know.
Yeah.
Can I go looking for this information? Like, is this place we're going to heard about? Like, do people come back from it, or is that something we can ask Lady Eladrin?
You like calling her Eladrin?
Go ahead and roll a persuasion.
I'm starting off the day strong with my horrible day. That's a natural 1. Yeah?
Could be worse.
So she tells you, she says, Navari, listen, we have no time to waste. Now, I can look through the journal that you had recovered for me to see if I can find any information, but we'll have to do it on the boat. Captain Quint is not a patient man, and I've already paid him, and we need to go. It took a lot of convincing for him to take us on this journey, where we're to where we're going. Please, speak quickly. Gather your things.
Why is that, if you don't mind me asking?
Because from what I understand, the jungles here are extremely dangerous, and maps are unreliable at best. Apparently, something about the geography of this place, things don't always stay the same.
Just see Randall over there. Yeah.
Not to mention the giants. We haven't seen any, but they do live here, and could pose a threat to the expedition.
And this isn't a whisper tour, and we're trusting Phelan to talk to them?
What, do you know how to speak giant?
I mean, no. I only know Common, Infernal, and Uscan. Randall, do you know how to speak giant?
I don't technically speak the language, but I know it derives from mine. Dwarves
Actually, from what I understand, there are historians who believe that your language and alphabet came from theirs.
You shut your whore mouth. You don't talk like that about the dwarves.
I meant no offense.
Randall's like super scowl, like he does not know.
I just simply know and have had discussions with members of the library of Cronenberg, and it is only a theory. There's yet to be any conclusive evidence dating of this, but it is something that could be...
I look forward to talking to these librarians. Looks like they need some adjusting.
Now, mind you, you could always perhaps be interviewed by them, or even the Chronicle. After we proceed with this expedition, I'm certain our story will be something that would be engaging to a great member.
Randall just turns around and starts walking away. Like he's done.
He's just
checked out. He's already heading to the boat. He's like,
yep, he's just going to the docks.
Like, see how this is gonna play. Okay.
I think you've insulted him and his people, lady.
Like I said, it was not intentional. I hope he understands that. But anyway, yes, we do need to get going. This Quint is, well, quite a character from what I understand. I only dealt with him a little bit yesterday, but he's old and kind of grumbly.
Yay.
Randall's gonna get along with him famously.
that does be off. Oh gosh.
What is this music?
Sounds like something you'd find at Disney World. Oh, by the way, this sound is brought to you by Xen'drix. Forgot to do our shout out last time.
Yeah, it's okay. All right. Yeah. There we go. We'll use this.
You stopped like the adventure.
So you guys get to the docks, and you can see, surprisingly, the ship that you're going to be using is an elemental-powered vessel. This one is particularly powered by a water elemental. So you could see the elemental ring, like on the back side of it. You can see that it's actually pretty big. There's a small crew seems to be loading up supplies, and an old man wearing blue. He has like just a small cap, really grayed, white, scraggly, like big mutton chops. Appears to be like a pipe in his hand that he smokes from. He says, "Aye! Welcome aboard the Marlowe, I suppose."
Randall, as he walks by him, just sticks one of his bottles, 1 pound bottles of his Bright Axe brandy in his hands.
So you and I are going to get along well, I suppose.
And he just smiles and nods.
I wish I had better accommodations for you, but unfortunately this, ship isn't that big. But yes, we must get going quickly, from what I understand. The river waits for no one, and the good weather is on our side. At least today it is, anyway.
You got a stock of javelins on your boat, right?
I have harpoons, bows, crossbow bolts.
Oh, just making sure. I didn't really come prepared with javelins, but in case something tries to board, I can throw a couple of harpoons at it.
I'd be more worried about something too big to board, I guess. And anyway, are y'all ready? Good. So where we're going, you do need to be prepared, I suppose. So, that being said, we set off in 15 minutes!
Randall goes and pops a squat next to, the center mast.
Hey, Randall, what are the odds do you think the giants will throw boulders at the boat car?
If we encounter any, 100%.
Got it.
That's one of their go-to.
Randall, what are you guys talking about? Are you talking about something interesting? I hope it's something interesting.
You know those birds you were talking about the other day? We were talking about them, those killer ones.
Oh.
I heard they can pick up a man.
Mm-hmm. I hear they really enjoy human flesh.
Something tells me they really like picking them up and dropping them from really high up so that they can kill them that way.
I'm just going to stay right here, and thank goodness my buddy Randall is here to protect me, because no bird would dare mess with you, Mr. Randall. That's what I know for sure, and that's what I have learned. But we do need to hurry, because there are things afoot that are very interesting, you could say, and it's very interesting indeed, I must add.
Randall's too heavy to pick up. Do you see all the armor he has?
Oh, absolutely.
So, the bird wouldn't go for him.
Last?
No, I was saying
no
bird
would mess with any of us with Mr. Randall here, because Mr. Randall is one of the bravest warriors I've ever seen in battle. Bravest indeed. We are very blessed to have him aboard this crew and part of this adventure. That is for certain. Yes, it is.
I was rolling a con save to see how drunk I've gotten. I rolled a natural 20. Well, not happy about it.
That's awesome.
My character is properly reflecting my actual person right now. And my alcohol tolerance is a little higher than I'd like it to be. Curses.
Oh. So, Phelan, are you going to go in the crow's nest like you said you were going
Well, you see, the nice thing is about this journey that we're going on is that there ain't going to be much to see ahead because the jungle is so thick and stuff like that around here. So none of us really have to don't go up too high. So thankfully, I mean, we could
But
just
we're
sit
gonna
on
tie you
the
up
top.
there, remember?
No, I don't think so. Lady Eldred, do you need my help with something? So Phelan kind of wanders off from you guys.
You're welcome, Randall.
Randall takes a swig and then passes the flask over to you.
And Casper comes aboard, Lady Eldrin comes aboard, and the rest of the crew comes aboard. So you guys just start, beginning the journey. Quint is driving the boat. His crew members are, taking various, just keeping a lookout for things. And as you guys descend through the river, you see all sorts of, different kinds of birds. You see like otters swimming by, fish of various sizes, hundreds of species of birds. You can hear and see surrounding. And every so often, one of the crew members points out, an exotic animal, such from the jungle foliage, which, generally speaking, you only get a quick glance at. But
how many crewmen are there on this boat?
There are 5 crew members,
including
Randall
the
goes
captain?
around.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Randall goes around to each of the non-captain crew members and hands each one of us a silver piece, whispering into their ear, pick a bird and look and tell it that, shout out something about being a carnivore when that's a man-eater. And Randall will gesture to the same kind of bird.
You guys are terrible.
And give him a signal. And gesture that he has a signal. I'm not using it right now, but he says, when I give the signal.
I understand.
Yeah. And yes, Ben, I am. I am a horrible human being.
Nova's just gonna hang out with Casper for now. But also, that's a great idea.
Yep. And I will shell out the silver for that. I will also make a point to talk with you at some point, Navari.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to something that we need to talk about with what's going on.
Yeah, what you need.
So you said 5, right? That's counting the captain or not counting the captain?
That's counting the captain.
Okay, so 4. So that leaves me 6.
Did you need money?
No, I'm good.
I have 55 silver pieces. And 1 gold piece.
I have 80. I have 8 platinum. And
wait,
some
you
gold
only have 8 platinum?
Well, your dagger wasn't cheap, and neither was my armor or my axe.
Oh, I have 65 platinum.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was the one with no money.
I also gave you the king's share of a lot of the money that we've gotten.
I said you didn't have to.
I know. No, lass, I was thinking that if we do encounter giants, I know that there are many types of giant. I don't know which breed lies here, but I know there are lower class stupid ones that just think of food, and then there's the ones that actually are smart.
Mm-hmm.
If we encounter one of the smarter ones, and you'll know it when you see it, because they generally are the ones that wear armor and wield weapons, and not just a tree.
Okay.
We might let Phelan do the talking, but always have your bow ready on one. Aim for the eyes if you can.
Okay.
Easier to blind it and run away than to deal with it outright.
Okay. I got it. What are the odds you think we're gonna run into one?
I don't know these parts. Hard to say. I don't know how prevalent they are in this jungle, but everybody seems awful concerned about them, so better than not. I'd give us a 60-40 split that we run into one.
Hmm. Do a bet. Do a bet.
I'm not the gambling sort, lass.
It was worth a try.
You're welcome to gamble with your husband, though. Or if you think you can convince that shifty SOB Phelan, maybe. Rendell steps away and walks over back to his post of where he was sitting, pops back down, and just starts drinking again.
Oh, I'll go hang out with Casper again. I forgot to close the game.
I've never been happier to plant the seed of deceit and evil than I am this time.
Oh.
I wish my players would mess with my NPCs more often, but they don't.
You are
See, and
terrible.
that's the best part is it's harmless.
Well, we'll find out when I go cry myself to sleep.
I was gonna say, he doesn't like swim. No, he doesn't like heights. Does he? Did he like swimming too? He doesn't like swimming.
I don't know. I don't think it's ever come up.
He's
I
not
thought
opposed to
something-
swimming as much as he is opposed to flying.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
no, flying is.
He was talking about all the stuff in the water and how he doesn't want to go in the water because he just said something about birds. And I'm like, Phelan, why are there birds underwater? That's how this all started. So he doesn't like water either.
Well, I don't think
Not the water here, probably, because.
I was about to say it's less about the water and more about
But
what's
more
in
here.
the water.
Yeah, more here.
Yeah. So your first day goes by uneventfully, and
Okay.
at night comes and Quint docks the boat and sets watch with his crew members. You guys are free to also partake in the watch if you want, but you're not required to, as you are passengers.
Okay.
In this
Well,
instance.
Randall will definitely help with a watch.
Okay.
I will attempt to, though my perception is low.
So is Randall's. Randall will probably be drinking. What a shock.
Oh, what a shock.
Actually, not half bad. Not for Randall, anyway.
Remember how I rolled that natural one?
Yeah.
I just rolled a natural 20. Don't let it go. No, I'm just joking.
Don't let it go to your head.
Don't let it go to my head.
So
He's silent, screaming to himself because of
I
what I'm going
apologize
to do
for
to
that.
Phelan later. That took a lot longer than I expected it to. I
And-
like that low, slow click.
Wolf isn't even probably gonna do it this. Watch Wolf not do it this game. He's gonna wait
Nope.
till next game. Like,
don't
2
even
games
start
from
with
now.
that. No. So you
There's
guys,
already a note made.
so it's it's nighttime. You guys are hanging out with the crew. There's only a few lanterns lit aboard the ship. No no actual fire or anything like that. So,
Right.
but you guys have a meal of rations and it's actually not bad. Stuff that was picked up in Stormreach, just not even a day ago. So everything's still pretty fresh and stuff like that. And Phelan, sits down with you guys and he's like, well, I don't want to be too loud, attract any unwanted attention, but so what do you guys think? Do you about what's going on? I mean, with Sir Garrick and everything he's doing, how do you feel about it? Are you excited to see where he's at? He's bringing all those pieces to this strange temple.
Why should we be excited about a madman doing whatever he's set his mind to in the hopes of world domination and or at least world destruction?
Yeah, I've been trying to kill Sir Creek for
Been
over
years.
3 years. Over 3 years?
More like 5.
For 5 years, Phelan.
And the 2 or 3 encounters I've had with the man, already I feel like it's been years since I've tried to kill this man.
He's not a good dude.
Okay. Take him out of the equation. But think about it. We're going to go someplace that nobody's been to in who knows how long. This is actually kind of interesting when you think about it. Isn't it? Or am I just crazy?
It seems like you may have caught whatever Sir Garrett Krieg has caught.
Or caught whatever he's telling those adventurers that went with him.
Maybe so. Okay. Okay.
If you turn evil, Phelan, I'll have to stab you.
No, I don't want to join him. No. I like the world the way it is, and I am very happy to be part of it. And I love that I get to do all these odd jobs, and I have all sorts of freedom, and I get to explore and see wonderful things, even though sometimes it's a little bit scary. No, you don't understand. It's curiosity that's got me kind of peaked. And
you know what the saying is, Phelan.
Part of me wants to go inside there with you, but the other part of me is like, no, I'm going to stay and guard the ship with everybody else when we get there. What do you guys think? Should I go in with you?
Phelan, you know the saying, curiosity killed the cat?
That's not what I'm familiar with, no.
Well, that's a
not surprising.
Yeah, that's a very common saying.
Let's just put it like this. You stop drinking the Kool-Aid, and you trust us to do the job that we've been hired to do.
Oh, I trust you. I trust you completely.
And you follow through with what you've been expected to do.
Yes.
Should we encounter any giants?
Oh, of course, yes. He kind of demonstrates in like a very baritone voice his ability to speak giant. You just have to take his word for it because
I was gonna say, Phelan, I have nothing to base that
you're not
off
familiar
of.
with the language.
Phelan,
Right.
I'm just saying, if you make these giants upset, they'll probably kill you.
Trust me, I'm aware.
I'm sorry we're not as excited as you are.
The captain, joins you guys. He's like, so, Randall, is it?
I
assume you also fought in the war?
Parts of it. I was never in the direct war with the other nations, but more of a contingent that operated on the outskirts most of the time. Dealing with you say that. Dealing with the monsters that tended to raid cities abandoned of men to defend them. That was my job and my comrades, and let's just say it didn't go as well as I would like it to have gone. I take it you were on the front lines then.
At sea. Yes.
Can't imagine that was any better. Watching people be eaten by sharks and other aquarian folk. And he passes over his flask to let him take a straw.
Takes a long drink from it, looks at Navari. So you, lass, I assume you fought as well?
Yeah, but kind of like on, like... Would the term be a different front?
She was more of the information, should you say.
It was more than just information. I had to do like other things.
Didn't you target influential people as well as gathering information?
Gather information. Sometimes dealing with people, eating things. Like a mixture. I was told to do a bunch of different things.
Needless to say, the war's left scars on all of us, one way or another. And none of us aim to see that scar opened once more. And if I have my way about it, anyone who aims to make that a reality will see their light snuffed if they cannot be turned from that path.
So this man we're chasing, I assume, that must be something he's up to?
He's had his chance.
Up to no good? He's trying to... I didn't ask a lot of questions.
He's pretty much using old knowledge to try and rectify what he feels is a great wrong from what we've understood.
He's not a good person, if that's what you're wondering. He's far from
It also helps to know that his own country's turned on him since the passage of peace and the treaty talks.
It is good to know. It's very good to know.
So basically, he's free for all. No country's going to be getting mad at us for ending his life.
Well, out here, don't matter anyway. They don't have a lot of influence from the 5 nations here in Stormreach. This is a frontier. It's peaceful most of the time. You just have to make your own way in the world. Survive as you must. Not anything like things used to be.
And what are the jungles like? Never been in a jungle myself. Only ever been in forests and mountains.
Vegetation so thick, you can only see a few feet ahead of you at most. Everything is alive. Insects, birds, snakes. Massive animals.
Sounds like the opposite of the Underdark that I knew.
It's sometimes quite beautiful. And other times very annoying. Some of the insects just will eat you alive. Be covered with bites. This time of year, not too bad. They have their seasons like everything else. Not to mention some of the ghost stories we hear out here. Some say these ruins and jungles are haunted by the giants of old. There's even stranger artifacts and stuff like that out in these places.
Haunted how?
Well, one expedition I heard actually found a city of gold. Everything covered in gold. Riches like you couldn't believe.
By the way, Ben, while he's talking, I take out one of the Everbright lanterns.
Yeah.
And I tilt it, and I tilt the hood just enough to give him the ghost effect across his face.
He says, if you believe the stories, the expedition ran into trouble as they were tempted to just, they were amazed at first. Then the greed took them. They began to try to harvest as much of this gold as anyone could carry. It's just an unbelievable amount of gold. And, well, out of the stone, out of the ground, the spirits of the giants that built the place began to rise. Malicious spirits defending their home. Killed more than half of the expedition, he says. They began to run in terror, and others probably got lost, captured by the elves that live here. Perhaps worse, other animals, or they just got lost in the jungle, lost their direction. It's not an easy thing to navigate when you're not quite sure where you are. If you believe the other stories about the land shifting and other strangeness of this continent, you don't know what's going to happen, where it's going to take you.
What do you believe, Captain? Oh, sorry, Rendell.
No, you're all right, lass.
I ain't seen any ghost. I've seen undead walk. I've seen men of wood and steel walk the earth. But, I don't know. But I don't see a reason for a man to make up such an outlandish story without some bit of truth to it.
I don't think that'll be too much of a problem for us.
You believe in your gods.
I
They
have
probably
faith.
grant you some kind of power, but I've seen a lot of men die who believed in the gods.
It's not about belief. It's about faith and protecting those that need protecting.
Yeah.
Faith does much, friend. Believe me. It's the only thing that's kept me going and actually brought me back from insanity. I was lost for more than 20 years, and it was my faith that brought me back. Gave me the guidance to be out here. It's the reason I ran into her. It's the reason I'm even in this predicament in the first place.
I mean, it's probably mainly
And
because of me that you're in this predicament, but that's besides the
Well,
point.
yeah, but my faith led me to you. You were, in my eyes, when we first met, you were a soul that was lost and needed protection. And while I may not hear direct words from the silver flame, the goddess, doesn't matter. I've been in more tight calls and close quarters than I care to share. I've seen near death more than once alongside her. And I've always walked away. And maybe today's not the day that I get to do that, but I don't go in thinking that. I go in thinking like every time before it. I'm gonna walk out just like I walked in, and with everyone at my side that walked in with me.
Well then. I'm convinced that I made a good choice, agreeing to take you aboard.
By the way, make sure you, when you drink that's Bright Axe brandy, by the way. Family recipe. When you go to drink it, make sure to heat it up in a proper glass first.
Remember that. So you guys' first night, watches and things go uneventfully. Phelan quickly goes below to rest and everything like that. Your quarters are cramped, but it's not. You're not like you have hammocks. You guys all have your own bit of space, so nobody has to bunk up. Nobody had to share one. So you have that going for you.
No sharing
then,
hammocks.
The next morning comes. You guys have a quick bite, and you continue on your journey down the river. I can find what I want here.
There we go.
What?
I was looking through my spells to make sure I channeled my spells properly for today. And I've got just the spell for you, lass.
Not that. Is it that marriage one you've been saying you're gonna do?
Nope. Mm-mm. Need for it.
Oh no.
What?
I'm just wondering what spell it would have been.
It's nothing OP or anything like that. It's just, it'll possibly neutralize one of the things you do, but it's gonna dim me a bit because it's gonna take one of my higher level spells.
Okay.
So it's a double-edged sword, but I'm not gonna use it right away. Because I can only do it twice. Nothing like a little protection from poison walking through a poisonous jungle.
I have antitoxin. Don't worry.
Oh, I am well aware. My magic renews. Your antitoxin is done once it's out.
Yeah.
Like, once you use it, it's gone. Granted,
That's
once
true.
I use
Yeah,
my
that's
men.
true. Um,
Casper,
Because
no
I can
giant.
also, I can cure poison out of your body with no, if I don't heal anything, up to 5 times.
nice.
Hey, also,
So I can neutralize 5 poisons.
hey Randall, do you know Elvish? In case we run into
Nope.
elves.
You know, I got to say, lass, my time in the church as a Templar Knight did not leave much room for. I mean, some of them did more book learning, but I was much more accustomed to the combat lessons that I got.
Yeah, I didn't have much time to learn other languages too. Lady Eladrin, do you know Elvish? I'll just start
I
asking
do,
him. Like, yes?
actually.
That's great. That's all.
I've had to negotiate at times in the past with the elves of Valinar, so it has come quite handy to be able to speak their tongue fluently, I might add, as to not insult them.
So,
Why do you ask? Is there any particular reason?
well, there could be elves in this jungle with poison. In case we run into them. Thinking
That's
ahead.
very true. However, the only concern I have is, what if they don't speak the same dialect? I mean, what if we accidentally insult one of them?
Well, was worth a thought. Thanks for
I mean,
crushing my dreams.
It is, well, I mean, it is worth a try, of course, but,
What was it?
you know, I just, I don't want to, I'd rather just hopefully we avoid confrontation of any of, you know, the people who live here. I'm hoping that we can just get in and get out rather quickly.
I mean, that's always what I'm hoping, but with how things go half the time, not everyone's like the most stealthiest.
That's true.
Randall, like, you just hear Randall go,
For example 1, I point to Randall. Example 2, I point to Phelan. Example 3 might be Casper, because he's part metal.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, like, he's only, it's not his fault he's part metal.
I know.
But
what are you trying to say over there?
I was going to say, on your second day of the journey,
The
good weather begins to end and sporadic rainfall descends upon you. So the crew puts out like a kind of like an awning over the ship, you know, over most of the boat to keep, you know, keep you guys mostly dry. It's not perfect, but it definitely means that there's like a deadening of sound around you, because you could hear it hitting leaves and everything around you. And then as you get to a very large, very straight portion of the river, you hear Phelan just cry out, just almost panicking. Giant! Oh dear, look at it! Look how big it is! And this thing's
I
probably
slap him over the back
like,
of the head.
you know, it's
I cover his mouth.
300 yards away, but it's so, you know, it's so tall as it's appears to be standing in the river that, you know, he's just like, oh!
Phelan? Phelan? Yelling and getting its attention does not help, and we're trying to avoid them.
How are we going to avoid him? He's in the water. He's in the water. Look how massive this giant is. Oh
Phelan,
dear, I was
feel like
really hoping we wouldn't see a giant. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my
Phelan,
goodness, oh my
I
goodness,
feel
oh my
like-
goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
Why did you learn giant if you're gonna freak out when seeing a giant?
Listen, I, at one point in my life, was a student, a very good student, okay? I learned a lot of things, and I have a lot of skills, and unfortunately, I made some decisions that were a bit more lucrative, and I was no longer a student. I never thought I'd have to see a giant. I had to be able to read the text and translate things, but I didn't know I was going to be asked to talk to one until very, very recently when Lady Eldrin said, "Hey, Phelan, do you know how to speak giant?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I know how to speak giant. Well, you better come with us then on this journey, you know, to things." Like,
Well,
but oh my
if
dear
you don't want to
goodness.
speak to the giant, the best bet might be to be quiet and pray that the giant don't see us. And maybe he'll move on before we get there.
I don't think he's going to move on before we get there. So Quint stops the ship, and you guys are just watching this giant. It appears to be like tending to some, maybe an injury or something. Like you could see it like dipping its hand in the water and kind of washing up. Roll perception checks for me, okay, guys?
I missed my natural 20.
I was gonna ask you what kind of giant it was, but never mind now. Hard to tell from this distance.
Wow.
I missed my
So we're gonna
natural
go
20.
with-
That was pointless.
With big?
It's big.
How many dwarfs high is he? Or she?
It's hard to tell because it is standing in the water, so like you can't see the full height. So you could just speculate how long its legs are, kind of thing.
What part of its body is above the water?
Waist up.
Okay,
So it's still taller than the boat.
A lot.
got it.
And as you guys come to a complete stop, and Quint weighs anchor, and he's like, "I think the best thing we could do is wait this out. What y'all think?"
I agree, but also out of character, I need to make the Disney reference of please keep all hands, feet inside the boat at all times until we come to a complete stop. And when we come to a complete stop, be sure to exit to the right. Don't go over the barrels, jump over the barrels. That means random references to the Jungle Cruise. Please continue.
Randall's feeling like he might want to go over there if it looks like it's tending a wound. Depending on the nature of the giant, but I can't tell that from here. If it's dumber cousin, I'm gonna be more inclined to want to kill the damn thing.
You would have to take Phelan with you if you want to speak to it.
Potentially it speaks common.
I mean, yeah, but there's also the potential it doesn't. It's also been in this jungle for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you guys are kind of discussing what to do, you notice that it begins approaching the ship.
Oh, good.
Oh, look at
With a-
this.
Problem solved.
With a healthy pace.
Hey,
And it gets to about 100 feet away, so I want you guys to roll perception checks again, okay?
Come on, one. Come on, one. Aw, 13.
I got a 13 as well.
I got 0 modifiers. Though.
I have
So
a
at this
plus
distance,
one.
you know, this giant looks like a very large, you know, it's the shape of a very large human. But you can see that, like, its skin tone is like a very earth quality to it. And it's obviously been out here in like the natural world very long time. There's actually like almost like moss growing on its clothing, on its shoulders, a little bit. And you can also notice one more very important, very kind of alarming detail, is it appears to have a number of arrows protruding from it. Its hand and arms, and up to its shoulder.
Phelan, now might be your time to shine.
My inner dwarf makes me want to kill this thing. My inner paladin says no, we should talk to it first.
I was gonna say, I'm mixed feelings too. I'm like half tempted, maybe dive into water, but also, Phelan, look. Now's your time to shine.
Phelan, you're up. Get to it.
Phelan, do it before it gets close.
Psst, that's your cue.
So Phelan, like, freezes for a moment, and he walks to the front of the boat.
Randall gives him some liquid courage.
And he, like, shouts in giant, "Help!" It just sounds like deep bellowing, echoing. And the giant looks at him and takes like another couple of steps closer and shouts back, "Why do you speak like me?" And you can notice now that the giant has this sword slung over its shoulder that's just probably as long as the ship. It's as wide as you, Randall. And this thing, it looks, it's got chips and dings. Like, it hasn't been maintained well. So it looks like extremely old. But it's definitely made for something of its size. And it takes another 2 steps towards the ship. So it's about 60 feet away from the boat. And Phelan looks at you guys, I think we could all talk to him.
Then talk to him.
I think he talks like us.
No, he's implying that he might know common mess.
Almighty giant!
Randall, can you
Failing
please...
that, yeah, no. Excuse me, lad. Looks like you've had a rough go of things. Maybe if we help you out a little bit, would you let us pass?
He reaches back for his blade and he says, "Are you friends with the sky people who attacked me?"
No, we're trying to kill them. God's honest truth.
And you can see his hand is like really like rough, like wounded. And he says, "You not their friends."
No, they've tried to kill us at least once or twice.
Know them.
Some more than people.
Some of us more than once or twice. They've tried to kill me at least twice. They've tried to kill her, God only knows how many times. As you watch Navari start counting out on her fingers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's the one time we met. I was threatened with execution after torture. There was more times after. At least 5.
Needless to say, we're here to end his life. And the reign of tyranny that he plagues this land with. And all those that call him commander or leader seem to need to go the same way. Now, like I said before,
Understand.
I can help you with those wounds. If they're not too severe, I've got bandages and things that I could use up to help you out.
So the giant walks forwards again, splashing water with every step.
Do you have a name that you go by? Ben thinks of name.
Argos is what they call me.
Argos?
Argos.
Argos. I'm Navari.
He points like this giant log of a finger. Navari.
I nod yes. And I point to Randall and I'm like, Randall.
Yeah, what's up? Oh, yeah, my name's Randall. Just call me Agile.
Agile. Can do. So you not friends with that flying thing?
No. Not at all. They actually attacked our last flying ship that we did have.
That was a sad day.
They saw me and began attacking, but were too far up that I could use my sword, so I had to retreat from them.
That was mean of them. Were you just like... What were you doing that made them attack, or did they just attack you?
I was living.
Minding my own business, just walking down the sidewalk, when out of nowhere, bam! Right to the face.
So sorry they did that to you. That was mean of them.
They not like other small people who've come through here before. These ones seem bad.
You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hand him my flask, but I feel like that would just take forever for him to actually get a drink out of it.
Yeah, no, it's more just like you know, like drink the whole thing. It wouldn't even phase it.
Well, it's a
you know.
never-ending flask.
Like he could drink from it, and he would eventually get a buzz.
Eventually, yeah.
But it would take him forever just to get even a mouthful once.
Yeah, that's the only thing. 'Cause I mean, like he's just he's really massive, and you could see that.
I'm guessing like 25, 30 feet tall, give or take.
25. Yeah. He is wearing, as you guys get a closer look, you can see he's wearing like some bracelets that appear to have like some really fine jewelry, like from a time when somebody, like there's a lot of craftsmanship into these things. And he has like a kind of like a collar one, like it says like a split, so like kind of wrap around almost around his neck. And he kneels down. Because like basically his real source of problem is he can't pull the arrows from his own back. So he kind of like, could you get these for me?
Yeah.
Ben is yawning. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you lean down a little bit, friend, I could pluck those out for you.
Lean down.
Yeah, so he crouches down even further. So like now he's like,
I'm a lot shorter than the rest of you. If you didn't.
Oh
gather.
yeah.
So he's very much in the water. You still can't see like his full height, obviously, but you notice like his clothing is really old and tattered, but it's like has like some real ability to it, like as if like he comes from a people that were more like closer to what you guys would live like, that you'd expect definitely from a giant.
All right. I reach into the handy haversack's left pocket, and I pull out the 2 first aid kits the medicine kits I have. I think healer's kits. And I proceed to start giving, like, tanking out these, I'm assuming spears. They look like arrows to him, but they're probably like spears.
Yeah.
Or
harpoons. Ballistas.
Well, ballistas is what I was thinking.
These are spears. They're not ballistables, but yeah, they're large enough that they like punctured him and
all right.
stuck.
Can you tell me, Argos, was it just one giant like flying thing, or was there others? Okay.
So, Ben, as a point of reference, I have 28 uses in my healer's kit. This is a very large man. How many uses is it going to take to pull out these spears and bandage them up and get them, like, at least poultices inside?
5.
5, okay.
Okay.
So then I will use that up, and I'm actually trained in medicine.
Nice.
So 15.
Okay. Oh, excellent. Yeah.
As I tend to his wounds and use poultices and stuff and salves to basically cover up the wounds so they don't get infected out here. Well, that's about the best I can do for you, friend. But hopefully it at least doesn't get infected.
he seems to like understand the word, but like it doesn't, like he doesn't know, like he's not fluent in common, but he knows enough of it. From
No sick.
somehow. Yeah.
I break it down. If it looks like he's a little confused by the word that I said of infection, I break it down and say, no sick.
Is there anything else that you need, Argos?
Are you all alone out here, lad? You seem friendly enough. Do you like being out here by yourself?
Long ago, they say our people had grand cities. I've seen them as I wander the lands. Occasionally I spend time with others like me, and sometimes I've met small folk like you. They taught me to speak how you do.
My thing is I imagine that the small folk like me that live in the city of peace downriver might be willing to do trade with you for being such a friendly fella. Work with you, feed you, or help repair clothing, maybe, for game that you maybe collect and bring in. No need to be as lonely as all that. Seems like forced solitude.
If you want, you can always travel with us, too.
We can even set you up back when we get back.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like.
Stay on my own for now.
I look
for the help.
I look to the captain and I say, Captain, how long do you think it'll take us to get to our destination and back? Not counting any time we might spend there, just the journey.
6 days.
Round trip, right? 3 days there, 3 days back. Argos. Try and make your way back to the river in about 4.5, 5 days. Check back here this time 5 days from now. Maybe you'll catch us on our way back. And if you do, we can maybe work out that trade agreement for you and the city.
I will think about this. Perhaps. But I feel that some small folk will still fear me.
Always. Some big folk fear me. And I'm a tiny package, but I've got a lot to bite.
Some people just don't like me because I'm a tiefling.
Don't worry about the prejudice so much. Attach yourself to the people that are actually worth attaching yourself to. The people that are accepting of others and their differences. Work with those that are willing to work with you. Merchants, maybe, that are willing to work with you and trade for game that you can collect, and only you can collect because of how deep you live in the jungle.
And there's no need to be lonely. Like,
I understand you spend time with others of your kind and others of my kind, but there's no need to be in these long, prolonged solitude moments that you seem to be finding yourself in. And if we can procure trade and set it up, it should work in your favor. At least for your lifetime. Again, it's just an offer. Like I said, check back on the river in about let's see, we've been on the river for a day. We've got 2 more to go, at least another 2 back.
Like a
So,
day and
like
a
I
half.
said,
Let's sit up.
yeah. So check back here in about 4.5 to 5 days.
Okay.
Hopefully around the same time. If you don't see us, nothing changes for you. But if you do see us on your way back, maybe we can. It'll be fate. It'll be destiny, and we can change a little bit of good for you.
And even if you don't want to do like the trade offer, you can just say hi.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say hi back. Ask how you're doing. Check in on you. I like to think we're friends now. I don't know if
Yeah.
you think that or not.
So he kind of like nods at you guys, thinking about your offer, and Quint, calls for anchor up. Phelan comes out from hiding again. He's like, "Oh." So
Pay no mind to people like him.
you know why that giant can speak like us, right?
Phelan, if you say something that is going to offend him or anything, please just keep your mouth shut.
It's because of his people. They send missionaries into the jungle.
According to him, it was because of our people.
Mhm.
Yours, in particular, Randall.
What do you mean, mine? My
Well,
people
you see,
don't live in
the
jungles.
Flame, the Church of the Flame has occasionally will send, what do you guys call this, missionaries, right? To teach about your beliefs in the Silver Flame. They must have met the giant and taught him to speak.
I mean, that's a potential, for sure.
I don't.
It doesn't sound based
Amazing.
on what we know. Oh, go ahead, Lass. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say you should be relieved, Phelan. Doesn't seem like we might be needing your giant speak too much after all, based on what our good friend Argos was saying, that there isn't very many giants around.
It's actually kind of sad.
It is. Especially if they were all as nice as him.
But anyway. Oh, my lord. Whew. Oh, it's pretty warm, wouldn't you say?
We're in a jungle.
It's very humid.
I was gonna say it's humid.
If you could smell the inside of my armor right now, you would probably die.
Hey, I have perfume of bewitching.
That's nice, lass. I don't want to change it. I'd like keeping me stench around. It's good for killing people.
Maybe it'll keep the insects away. Or bring them to you.
Oh, I've got a coat of mosquitoes underneath this suit of armor right now.
That's disgusting.
It's like a suit of armor outside of my suit of armor.
That's disgusting.
It's not pleasant, that's for sure.
You need a bath.
I'm sure I'll get one by force anytime soon.
Yeah, we'll see if I push you in or not.
Just remember I stink.
I'll be right back.
Like a stone. Good times.
I'm gonna use the restroom too real quick.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe he's gonna go think. Don't forget to do your little bird thing.
He's still worrying about when I'm gonna do to Phelan.
I'll be right back in just a moment. Feel free to entertain chat.
I mean, Randall's always entertaining.
Oh shoot, he's back.
Yeah, go. Just go, Ash. You're fine. He needs a restroom break.
Okay. Oh, man.
I was just telling her, I was like, don't worry, Ben's just worrying about when I plan on plopping that fun thing for Phelan
No.
later. Oh, no, it's gonna sit there. It's gonna stew for a bit. Gotta let them juices ripen before you pluck them. Like a good brandy or whiskey. Hmm. We're men. We're men in tights. Always a gun defending the people's rights. Hey, it's not my fault I did choir, and that was one of the songs my choir teacher taught us.
That actually makes me happy.
Yeah, we did that one, and they laugh at me. I think it was Little People. I think is the name of the song. They laugh at me, these fellas, just because I am tall. They laugh at me because I'm not 100 feet tall. I tell them there's a lot to learn down here on the ground. The world is big, but little people turn it around. A worm can roll a stone, a bee can sting a bear, a fly can fly around Versailles because flies don't care. Yeah. Well, it was fun because that was back when my choir, it was men's choir,
Mm-hmm.
and there was only like 8 of us in that class. And because there was only 8 of us, when we did our choir concerts, we actually choreographed everything for the final song. So like, and I think the first year or the first concert we did, we because you know how they make you wear those choir robes, those gowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we took those off, and then the second one, the women took theirs off to try and one up us, and then we were wearing that was the one we did the Men in Tights song. So we had rip-away pants. So we took off our gowns for the second song, and then by the time we got to the third song, we threw all 8 of us guys ripped off our pants and we're wearing tights.
What did I just
That's
come back
awesome.
to?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, no, the crowd went nuts, and because they walked by us as they were coming backstage, and we were getting ready to walk on. And they walked by us, it's like, try to up that, and we were like, okay.
So
Yeah, it was great.
what are the
Choir
odds
class.
I could just scare Phelan?
Probably pretty good. He's pretty jumpy,
He is jumpy. Yeah.
and you're pretty sneaky. So
How perceptive is Phelan?
that's a gosh darn good question.
I mean, I like to think of it either we'll learn he's not very perceptive or he is.
We're gonna learn that either Phelan should be doing all our perception checks for us, or he's
get
gonna
to
be
scare
really
Phelan.
easy to, or he's gonna be really easy to scare in the future too.
Yeah.
And Ben's not gonna like it.
This is how Phelan turns to the bad guy.
This is when Phelan. This is the beginning of the end of why Phelan turned to Sir Garrett Krieg and said, "Make me your disciple. I want to learn at the feet of the master."
He just goes full Anakin.
And then we get to murder Phelan.
You guys are not gonna. No, don't murder Phelan. Please don't murder Phelan.
I had no intentions of murdering Phelan.
I've kind of gotten attached to this character. Like, I actually really, like, he's only supposed to, like, so, you know, the module that I based all this off of, he's only supposed to be in, like, one part, and I'm like, no, I'm having too much fun with bringing him back.
He's no Stewart, that's for sure.
Well, and I thought it was funny because at one point there was actually a high chance that we were gonna fail finding him.
Yeah, when I found him.
Yeah, because I think you critted the freaking perception check to locate Phelan so that we could get a ride to the ball. We realized he was our fastest. He was our fastest means of transportation to get there.
Where is his carriage right now?
It's back in Sharn.
Hey, Phelan.
You know, safe place.
Oh, I was gonna say, how does it feel leaving your carriage behind? But
well, he's the only one who can pull it out, the earth elemental, out of the ground.
True.
Unless he left his bracelet with somebody else too.
No, so it's actually yeah.
I thought you were gonna say unless he left the brakes on.
Yeah, he left the parking brakes at.
Yeah, no
He's got the
worries.
steering wheel club.
Yeah, no one's gonna take that thing.
We're moving on.
Yes, moving on. So you guys continue your river journey for the next 2 days.
So happy I don't have work tomorrow.
And just as Kedron's notes suggested, As you guys reach a turn in the river, at a place where the land rises up from the vegetation, strewn banks, you see giant hands of stone reaching out of the sky, or reaching out of the soil towards the sky. The ancient monolith suggests that you're nearing the site of the fourth and final schema's resting place. And sure enough, on the bank of the river to the giant's left hand, you could see a small air skiff. It's about 20 feet in the air, with a rope ladder hanging over the side and a line anchoring it to the ground.
We should.
Let's break the flying crystal. Break the rings that control the elementals.
Well,
so this one is not like a full-on ship. This is like an air. This is like a Soarwood lifeboat, so it just kind of floats due to the nature of the wood that it's made out of.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have like, you'd have to have some kind of outside propulsion.
We can break the rope to the anchor, but also we want to make sure no one's on it because there's a group of mercenaries with them as well. Mm-hmm. One which, you know,
I doubt Krieg would have left them watching the boat.
No.
I was just thinking if we break their mode of egress out of here.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say...
We know they aren't getting away very fast.
Yeah, I was thinking snapping that rope and watching it float away.
I'm really wishing we had talked Argos into helping us, because we could have had him pull that rope and just bring the boat down.
That's what my idea was, but you're like, you could have sent him that way. I'm like, but he could have gone with us, too.
I know. But he didn't seem like he wanted to fight, and Ben didn't seem like he wanted him with us. And I wasn't about to push the situation.
Argos is a very neutral character. So his motivations were he had an opportunity to get help, and he really appreciated it. But he's not somebody that would is just gonna like join a fight because
But he had our opportunity for revenge. That seems like a multitude of reason to go after someone. Anywho, like I said, Ben didn't seem like you wanted him with us, so I didn't push the matter.
So, about that air skiff.
Yes.
We are going to... Are we going to, do we see anything else besides the air skiff? Do we see any people, or not at this?
Go ahead and roll perception checks.
Captain, do you have a telescope?
I do not.
Complaining.
Randall's had far too much of his whiskey to find anything.
Dirty 20.
Ah! So, Navari, you can tell that there are at least 2 people up on that air skiff, acting as lookouts, maybe guards, or just, left behind to cover the retreat.
So there are 2 people on that air skiff, Randall. Either guards, lookouts. Are they moving around, or?
A little bit.
Well, I'll let you know this now, lass. That's up to you. If you think you can take them out, I mean, I could try and climb it, but I'm going to be taking a hail of arrows and crossbows and spears.
Well, here's the thing. You don't have to climb it. The anchor is at the bottom.
And what's to stop them from keeping it here?
A rope.
The anchor just makes it easier.
Is it a rope holding onto the anchor, or is it a chain anchor?
So it's literally just like a rope, probably tied around a tree or something on the ground.
Is it slack or is it taut?
It looks pretty taut.
Like there's no control of where it goes, kind of taut?
Yeah, like it's drifting.
Okay.
Untie the rope, might drift away. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I don't understand how they navigate that ship if it doesn't have a means of propulsion.
You'd have to have like a wizard or somebody who can master of magic.
Dang, there's a wizard in the party.
You know, somebody who could cast like gust spell.
So what you're saying is cut the rope, let them drift away.
Unless the wizard's up there. Unless the wizard's up there.
These two guys, like, for all you know, they could just be like, hey, we just took this job.
Yeah, you know, that's what I thought about a lot of the people that have been working under Sir Garrett Krieg, and almost every single one of those people have been crazy fanatics.
You know he hired people in town.
You're so right.
You know that everybody with him is a fanatic right now.
I do, and I also know that no one in his right mind would leave the proximity of his ship in the hands of non-fanaticals. What's to stop them from trying to take his ship and leaving? And saying, screw this guy, he's not paying us enough for this job.
I mean,
no, he's gonna leave.
What if he is paying them?
A lot?
Yeah, no.
Oh, is there a way we can, like, stealth around or something? Or... And by we, I mean
Navari,
because...
you could sneak up.
I was gonna say,
like,
by
looking
we,
at you like, this is what you were talking about earlier. That's why I sneezed, isn't it?
Yeah, I made you sneeze, Randall. I made you
Oh,
sneeze.
I bet you did. Got my eye on you, lass.
So by we stealth around, I mean I stealth around, unless anyone else is capable of stealthing and being quiet.
I mean, I'll try and stay close enough to you that I can be of assistance should you need it.
Yeah.
Phelan walks up and says, I'd like to interject something. I can be sneaky.
Was that the end of your interjection?
But, yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I wanted to make sure there was no, like, I can be stealth or sneaky, and then an add-on.
No, nothing to add. Just I could help sneak up on them.
Yeah? Remember that one time I followed you?
That's because you were looking for me. They're not looking for me. They're not looking for you. At least I don't think they are. Maybe they are. Who knows?
Do you want to stealth, Phelan?
Take him with you, lass.
I'm just saying I could help.
He could be of use.
You can come with me. I know I'm not your favorite person. I'm no Randall.
Nobody's Randall.
Oh, shucks. Not everybody can be as glorious as me.
I mean, I used to think I was pretty cool, but now I don't know.
Now you're starting to question.
Just because Phelan doesn't idolize you doesn't make you not cool.
Actually, it probably makes you more cool, to be honest.
Alright.
Probably a safe thing to say, yeah.
Alright, Phelan, you can come.
Alrighty then, let's make this happen. So he like, you know, grabs his crossbow. Which is actually pretty fancy looking thing. It's a light crossbow. It seems to have like some extra sights to it and a quick rearmament lever. So definitely not like a real, you know, not a peasant's weapon by any means. He grabs like a sheath of bolts and a dagger. He's like, okay, I'm ready to go.
We're gonna go take a look. Not gonna do anything yet. Okay? Unless I see fit to do something. We'll see.
Okay.
I'm the only exception to that rule. I have a 24 for stealth.
Phelan's is very respectable.
How
Got a dirty 20.
respectable? Okay.
So you guys creep through, and you get closer to the location. It appears that the guys up top don't see you creeping around.
It's a big height difference, you know? No, I'm just joking. I don't know.
However, the hand, like these giant stone hands that are up out of the ground, appear to be almost encasing like the entrance to, which was kind of more hidden, this massive structure with a doorway that's 30 feet tall.
Is the door open or closed?
It's just like an open passage. So it's
okay.
this big like temple stone building, and like it is built to accommodate a giant comfortably. It just absolutely dwarfs you in size. It is nothing short of impressive.
Is there any more guards besides the two people up there? Or?
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
I'm not gonna lie, part of me is having a full Peter Griffin moment when he's in like the Holocaust movie or whatever, and he's just like
17.
I have Pringles too. I'm sorry. You don't see anybody else.
that would have been me behind her eating like a crispy chip. Gone.
It's like the thing that I'm picturing is like you're on the mission for the South and you're just like enjoying some crisp.
Yep, just behind you. You just see behind you this.
Like your nat one is you crunching into another chip.
Randall.
Wait, what? What? What's wrong?
Your Pringle crunches? Loud.
Can't help them. They're so damn delicious.
Can I see into the room?
Not without, like, not far. Like, you just know that it's like it's a hallway of sorts.
And is Phelan with me? Did he stealth a different way?
Nope, he is still very much close by.
So Phelan. I'm gonna whisper. I only see the two people up there right now.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing else.
Well, why don't we take him out then?
I don't... What would your version of taking them out be?
Well, you see, Navari, the thing is you and Randall are very competent heroes, and from what I understand, you've dispatched a lot of people. I mean, I saw you myself take out those bugbears when I first met you. I say we ask for their surrender.
I remember that way differently.
Well, here's the thing. To ask for their surrender, we have to get up there.
We could just shout at them.
No, because then the other people from inside will hear us.
Well, that place is huge. There's no way they could hear us. And
That's
if they do,
not
what do we have to
true.
worry about?
Getting attacked and surrounded from all sides? Here's the thing.
See, this is
Phelan.
why I am not in charge.
Phelan, here's the thing. You don't, take it from me, you don't want to be captured by Krieg.
No.
If you're lucky, he will just kill you. If you're unlucky, like I was, he will torture you, and then threaten to kill you.
How about I go back to the ship and get Randall?
I'm sorry if I just scared you. I don't know what you're mouthing.
You get on that ship now, Randall, or I swear there will be a butt whooping for you later.
So Navari, as you can see, you've basically scared the bejesus out of Phelan. So what do you want to do?
I'll have Phelan tell him what all I saw, because I'll tell him, and then I'll watch a bit more to see if anything changes or anything. Like any new people come out or anything. And if nothing does, I'll go back to the ship. And see what they want me to do.
Okay. So Phelan gets back to the ship, and he explains to you guys, he's like, we saw two guards up on the post there. We didn't see any signs of anybody else. So Garrick and everybody else must have already gone into this massive structure. He explains to you how big the door is and how it's even taller than the giant that you guys saw. Like, you know, it would obviously accommodate for a giant to go into. And he came back to...
I'm confused. I thought the whole point was to cut the anchor and let the ship float away. Why is the ship still here? We already knew there were two people on the ship.
He says, well, you see, I'm just letting Navari run all this stuff, so I'm just doing what, you know, she told me to do.
Internally, Randall's saying, this is what happens when you let a lass do a dwarf's job.
Oh, fight you.
What's that?
I didn't know we were so set on that.
I just figured it was the easiest way to get rid of their egress.
I thought it was still to be decided. I apologize.
Oh. Yeah, no, I thought we decided that back at the boat when we realized there was two on there, and while they might have a wizard to control it, the wizard's probably not on the ship.
Yeah, my worry is I'm shouting. But I mean, like...
Is it open area where they're at?
How far up are they?
A little bit. They're 20 feet off the ground.
I mean, if that's what we decided, I could
like,
go
this
cut
was
the
probably
ship.
really open when it was
Terrain.
new.
Maintained.
Yeah, when it was
like
maintained.
when it was being maintained. Yeah.
But like since then, the overgrowth has just taken it over.
Well, that's why I was asking, because I was like, how would they have gotten a ship to land and tied off? Because
so it's like the skiff is like a really big rowboat.
no, I get what it is. Like
Okay.
I get the concept in my mind. It was just more of like any jungle I've ever seen pictures of, finding a clearing, even one around ruins, it's like a godsend if you can find one.
Yeah.
With the perception check I made earlier to see people, could I see like a better look at the people on the skiff?
They don't appear to be wearing those half faceplate helmets that the Emerald Claw guys do. They're both just wearing typical.
It's like mercenary garb.
Comfortable clothing for the outdoors.
Okay.
And carrying weapons.
Randall jumps off the ship from Phelan's word and starts making his way towards where he left Navari. Oh, I'll be trying to be quiet.
Yeah.
Navari was coming back.
Well, then you'll probably find me halfway on my way to you.
I probably would have told Phelan to tell him I'd be coming back.
13.
That's not bad.
That's impressive, yeah. I rolled a 16 and a 14.
That's respectable.
It's the quietest you'll ever hear Randall
I mean, Navari
be.
still knows you're coming, but like those guys up there probably wouldn't with that.
I mean, they're
I don't know.
20
What's
feet,
your passive perception?
but they're also 20 feet up.
Mm-hmm. Their passive perceptions is what dictates what they can find. So I don't think Navari's 11 can find me.
Oh, that's all hers is? Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, because hers is, you got a +1 in perception, right? Yeah, because mine's only 10. We're not the most passively perceptive bunch.
Ashara was our perception.
No. So yeah, but I'd be keeping an eye out for her and hoping, because I assume Phelan would have told me where she went, but not
Yeah,
that
because I was watching for a bit.
Watch. You get back to the ship and I get to where you were.
No,
we're so unperceptive that we pass each other in the jungle.
I think that's happened before.
Not for us, but
okay.
I'm sure it will, and this might be the first time.
Well,
but...
I was staying there for a bit to keep watch, and then I was going to head.
Right.
But if you if you were coming like
as soon as Phelan got back and said that, I would have made my way over.
Yeah, you'll probably
because at the very least we could convince these guys to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And if it comes to force, it comes to force. But my ideal goal was to just cut the freaking rope and let them float away.
It was mine until I see they're just like normal people.
Right.
Like, I'll feel bad if I like these like younger people were just sent to their doom.
Just send them to the upper stratosphere. The silver flame will capture them and it'll be fine.
Hopefully it'll be fine. We'll see.
Does Randall find Navarro? Do we
pass each other?
Well, I was staying there for a bit, like I said. And watching.
So is that what you guys are gonna do? So your plan is to sneak up, cut the rope.
No.
Okay.
So
Not yet.
So you haven't been listening because you were focusing on your thing, but Phelan came back, regaled Randall of what was going on. Randall jumped off the ship.
Yep.
And started trying to make his way to where Navari was, while Navari was still casing out.
Yeah.
So the question was, did I pass her stealthily while she stealthed past me to get back to the ship? Because our passive perceptions would not have noticed each other.
Yes. You absolutely miss each other. Absolutely.
Okay. That was the ultimate question. So I get to the ship and I'm looking around for Navari now.
Yeah.
And I get to the ship in the water. I'm like, where's Randall?
And I start climbing the ladder, to the rope ladder, to climb onto the ship.
Phelan, where's Randall?
It's like about this time you just see this like silver dot.
Yeah.
Just facepalm. I'm like, I told you to tell him I was coming back, and then I go back to try and...
So one of them leans over the edge and sees Randall coming up. He's like, "Hey!
Hey, lads!
Get up in there! Hey, what are you doing?"
I gotta talk to you, and I don't really want to do it from down here.
What? What? He like looks at his buddy. He's like, "What? Just get off our boat! Just stay down there."
I give him an 11 persuasion as I'm talking to him. Calm down, friend. I just need to talk to you. It'll be over in a second. As I keep climbing, I don't even stop. I just keep going, hand over hand.
He's like nervous, like he draws a sword. He's like, I don't want to have to do anything that you're gonna regret.
Navari's...
You mean that you're gonna regret? Let's be honest, lad. You look like you're about to drop that darn thing.
Am I close?
Yeah, he's trying to keep his cool, keep his grip on it. It's like, now listen, just, you don't want to be here, okay?
No, lad, you don't want to be here.
A really tough guy.
I know who you work for, lad. As I'm climbing over the rim of the ship.
When I get to the rope, I'm climbing the rope too.
I climb over the edge of the ship and I'm just like, now listen, I know who you work for, and let me just be honest with you. He's not paying you enough for the job that you're doing. So my advice is to take your chances. Now we eased things over with the giant shell peppered on your way in. Now you got a choice.
We didn't do that. Okay.
You've got a choice. Just listen.
We're just
Just calm down. listen. You got a choice. You can make your way to my ship, where we're docked offshore. I'll put your sword down. You're not scaring anybody with that. Do you see me drawing the axe on you? I could cut you both down in seconds. It's not the point. Make your way to our ship, and we'll give you safe passage back. And walk away from the job. Also, and I assume at this point, like maybe Navari's catching up.
Yeah.
Am I to the top yet?
I'm leaning over the edge of the boat, like, Navari, what was the name of your daughter?
Cassandra?
Yeah, does Cassandra work with you guys? Tiefling gal.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good to know. She's in there with him, isn't she?
Yeah, she's our boss.
Good to know. Navari, we're all coming down.
I'm like mostly up. I'm like, and I just go back down.
And I have them lead first, and then I climb down on top.
I'm just waiting at the bottom.
I'm not gonna lie, part of me wanted to do a hero jump off the top.
Don't do it.
And then just watch me face plant.
And that's where we're gonna stop today.
Oh.
No.
As Randall's over there ushering these two along and taking out his axe and cutting the rope so their ship just sails away.
It's kind of like a slow, just lull.
Yep.
Of it just like
just
the
drip.
breeze taking it. But
Yep.
yeah.
I have a question though. Did I hear that Cassandra thing or not? Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasn't at the top. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you would have been almost to the top of the boat when I said, we're coming down.
Yeah, you heard him literally tell Randall that your daughter is their boss.
Interesting. Impressive.
I
But
mean,
also interesting.
Don't we have another hour?
Don't we have another hour? I don't work tomorrow.
Oh, you don't?
I was gonna say I don't work tomorrow. My only
I'm off
plans
for a week and a half because I'm moving.
The only plans
Up
I
to
have
you, Ben.
only plans I have for tomorrow is getting the second dose of the COVID vaccine.
That's up to you, though. If you really want to call it here, we can call it here. I was like, you said 8 to 11.
You did say to 11. That's what I was thinking too. We love you, Ben. I can't
I've
speak for
only
Wolf,
had
actually.
this much. I've still got so much more to
We
go.
play a little more. We play a little more.
Okay,
the
we could-
11 is like, the buffer zone.
I was gonna say we could take like a 5-minute break to use the restroom
Yeah,
and
we'll take a
refill
break.
water.
I apologize to anybody who just got here.
No cliffhangers now.
Oh, I'll still leave you with one. I'll come up with something.
We want them to stay, Ben.
We see
but the thing is to
Cassandra and
play.
then we cut out.
Oh, shite.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know and haven't been watching this campaign from the beginning,
I'm gonna refill my
Navari's searching for her, been searching for her family. She found her husband Casper, would have been a few sessions ago, so in game terms about a month ago.
Was it?
And
Has
they're
it been a
looking for
month
their-
already?
Yeah, they're looking
Dang.
for their
Daughter?
teenage daughter who's,
16?
adult. Yeah. Yeah,
16
she's
and the boss of a mercenary group? Dang.
You know how to breed them.
right. Yeah, she's.
I don't know if I
obviously-
should be proud.
She's hired some guys and
disappointed, impressed, a mixture of everything.
right.
I'm gonna go get more water in the restroom.
Now I don't know how so I do have an opinion here because obviously these two guys didn't put up much of a fight.
No.
So I don't know what her hiring.
I was gonna
process
say I don't know. That's why I'm like maybe a little disappointed. Like that wasn't like.
She's our boss. She needs to find better men to hire.
I was gonna say she needs to. We'll work on that. Work on the hiring process. I'll be right back in just a moment.
I was like, I'm over here. I've got so much more to go. Why are you cutting me off already? I bought it specifically for tonight. No, I just thought it was funny. I was like, well, I'm going to do to you what my players do to me. We can go longer. You said it's for 3 hours. Because I do the same thing. I generally schedule 3-hour games and then I cut them at 2. And then I leave an hour for everybody to talk after. That's right. We still haven't gotten your... Because you guys never went into the affiliate process, right?
That's something that I'm...
Like the store... But what I'm saying is like the store didn't do it.
Yeah.
So because the store didn't do it, like it's going to be hard. At least because we could also get the... I'll try and figure it out and let you know what we need for the bots when I get some time.
Okay.
Because the bots should be fairly easy to add to the channel. I just need somebody who has control of the channel to add it. Like all the proper logins and stuff. No, apparently my girlfriend shut the door because she she was packing and she didn't want that. Have you been enjoying this, Ben? It's a proper cork, like this bottle, man. Have you know what a bag of Werther's Original smells like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Picture a whole bottle of them.
Okay.
That's what this stuff smells and more or less tastes like. If it wasn't so expensive, I'd have it more often. My buddy was asking me if you could drink it, like, how is it drinking it straight? And I'm like, well, I don't generally drink this stuff straight, but it's not bad. Well, Rising Phoenix Odyssey, we get more time. Hopefully, assuming Ash comes back soon, at least like maybe 25, 30 more minutes, give or take. Like cut it 15 early.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, I hope. I was like, we're just about to make it into the cave. And scene. You monster. How dare you, Ben? Are you looking through to see if you have enough planned for that? There she is.
Okay,
welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm been good.
Ben!
I don't know if it's alarming, but I think when I stand up, I'm gonna feel this.
Just be careful.
Yeah. I've been noticing that this stuff isn't hitting me nearly as hard as I'd like it to when I want it to.
Hey Ben, how's it going?
Good, very good.
He's looking up what's happening in the next section. Oh, I did not know this. Bamboo is a product of Barbados.
All right, so you guys are back on the ground, and you're with the 2 mercenary guards.
What are your guys' names?
Why are you bothering with their names, lass?
I wanted to ask them questions.
Do you need their names to ask the questions?
I mean, no, but I figured it'd be nice.
I mean, I call you lass even though I know your name's Navari. And I called
Their
them
names
lad.
are Colworn and Devere.
And Devere.
Mhm.
How many people are with you? Like, in your group? Your group specifically.
The mercenary
Oh,
group.
our troop. There's just the 5 of us.
What about including the person you're working with, his group? How many people are in that cave right now?
Well, people?
Things that
Yeah.
move, including undead things.
Things with
10.
weapons.
The ones that don't talk so much. Another, I think it was 50 or so.
50 undead. 10 real soldiers.
Oh,
His-
and a Warforged.
That's new.
Not really been attacked by like 5 warforged.
Yes, but this is the first time they've been working together.
No, they're connected. Krieg works for Warforged, leader of Warforged person.
Since when? You never told me that.
Since approximately when I went and wrote the Lord of Blades, Warforged, leader of Warforged.
That's super helpful, lass. There's been a
Roses
lot
Eternal.
of crap on our journey to this point.
I'm sorry, my notes are a mess, Randall.
That might be before my time.
It was before your time.
When were you planning on telling me?
I thought I told you.
No, I have never seen Warforged operate with Sir Garrett Krieg, and we've almost caught the slimy bugger like twice.
I think they're connected. I think at one point it was said Lord of Blades.
I mean, if these schema are never mind. Nothing to be having an argument in front of the children. You two. What direction is the ship roughly from where we are? And do I think that these two could actually find it?
I wouldn't.
Randall did carve a
They
path through
seem
the
a little,
jungle.
a little green.
Okay.
Like they're really new to this kind of stuff, and they do tell
Randall-
you that they believe it went north.
Randall did carve a pretty sizable dwarf-sized chunk out of the jungle as he carved his way in. So there's that. You follow the broken branches in a straight line all the way back to the ship. Tell the captain that Randall sent you and that no harm should come to you. And I hand them a small trinket of the silver flame to give veracity to their words. In honor of the information you've given us and the fact that you put up 0 fight. Your boss probably won't be happy about that, but I won't be saying nothing.
You know, we were just.
Randall, he activates. He speaks the command word for his armor, and you watch as a holy emanation of the silver flame emanates around him in his armor, and says, "Go with God, children, and know that no harm comes to you or your friends this day." And then and he speaks it again, and it just fades.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Javier, yes. Let's head back. Yeah. Yes.
How much were you getting paid?
Let's go to their boat. Cassandra was paying us 5 gold pieces a day. I don't know what she negotiated with Krieg, but she treats us well.
That's good. How old do they look?
I'm gonna guess in their freaking teens, late teens.
Oh yeah, they're late teens,
Like-
early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, these
They're
guys
maybe
are really
older
young.
than your daughter.
maybe not as like
Well, Cassandra's only
maybe
16.
not have the experiences she does, but they're they're young. These guys were too young to serve in any
during the war. Yeah.
So they don't have that like grizzled status of a lot of the guys you've dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
So probably like 17 or younger.
When they leave, like Navarre just says to herself, "I knew I would regret teaching her how to sword fight."
I'm feeling like you're going to be regretting a lot more than that, depending on how much Krieg's had an influence on her.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's get in there.
Heck, do you want me to lead and try and stealth? I mean, I'm assuming they probably put traps or something up.
Sorry, I just read chat. Blop, not in front of the children! Phrases to live by. Phrases to live by. Well, if you feel adept at disarming those traps, feel free to go first. But otherwise, if they haven't disarmed them themselves, if there are any still left alive or left untriggered, I guess I'll be the human shield.
All right.
I don't really like this plan any better than you do, but I'm not exactly adept at disarm. My method of disarming is smashing. I've got a hammer. I could smash them.
I mean, true. Why am I only at 35 hit points? We didn't get attacked.
You should be at full.
I was gonna say I should be at full.
That was probably from the last fight.
Oh, okay.
Because my die was still reflecting less health, so.
Well, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and stealth in, even though Randall.
I'll stay back about 30 feet, because that's roughly what it takes me to catch up. And I will equally try to stealth. Let's not use that die, let's use this die. Nope. I found potato crisps in my bag and I'm eating them.
Okay.
On every step. I'm eating the potato crisps as I step to try and cover up the sounds of my steps. Only to realize that it's actually making the sounds worse. Not better. So then I stop. I rolled a natural 1. So
No.
-0. I rolled a 0.
No. If it makes you
I rolled
feel
an 8 and a 1.
If it makes you feel any better, I rolled real bad too, and I only got a 17.
Man, I've got to say, I am enjoying the roleplay of playing a character that is not dexterity based for a change, because I almost always play dexterity based characters. And it's always nice to have a DM that doesn't punish me for not having dexterity as a skill. Because the last DM did. He literally he's like, why do you always play dexterity characters? The first time I didn't play one, and he threw a freaking dexterity based trap that I could not get out of. It was like a slime pit that centered on like a water hole, and I fell into it, and I was like, I couldn't get out. Like I had like 3 or 4 tries, and I just couldn't get out. I was like, well.
But cool if we only have half an hour.
I know. Well, less than that, because I'm guessing he's going to end it a little bit early.
Oh, I gotta find my daughter.
So as you guys approach, you see that there are 5 massive stone steps. They rise up 50 feet to a colossal open-air gallery, capped by the oppressive weight of the ancient ruin. There's a series of 20-foot wide, 50-foot tall stone columns surrounding the gallery and supporting the upper levels of the ruin. A 10-foot wide channel cut into the stone next to the great stairs contains a far smaller staircase, providing a crumbling route for creatures more or less your own size.
How tall are these stairs? Like an average stair step is like 6 inches?
Yeah.
They're 10 feet?
Yeah.
So you're watching Randall squirm to climb up these things.
They're built for giants. By giants.
Okay.
Like watching a baby go down. Like
How many
watching.
more of these do we have?
What gives you
About 3.
pause as you see the smaller staircase off to the side is that you can see the carnage of a great battle littering the small staircase. There's dozens of bodies scattered across the steps. A few of the bodies bear the distinctive militaristic uniform worn by the soldiers of the Emerald Claw, while others are long dead, dried skeletal corpses. But there's probably 5 times as many ebony-skinned elves wearing clothing made of carapaces and strange leather. As you get closer, the scavenger birds covering the bodies begin to take flight and scatter.
Of the elves, I immediately tend to see if anyone is still left breathing. And that is a 16 on medicine to see if I can spot anyone that's breathing as I go through the bodies of the ebony-skinned warriors.
Not a single one.
We'll have to bury these and give them proper burials when we come back out.
If we're able to.
Well, like I said, if we come back out. Sorry, not when. If. But Randall will spend like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Okay.
How many of the elves are there?
$32.
Randall will spend 5 minutes then, just getting them in a line, in like 10 wide line, away from the rest of the bodies, just so that he can make it easier on himself when he goes to, dig graves later.
Yeah.
How many of the emerald bodies there? How many of the emerald claw bodies?
Like how many guards?
Yeah, how many of their bodies
4.
are there? 4.
Yep, just
So 4 of their tattered garb, and just dozens of the other ones, and almost 3 dozen of the ebony-skinned warriors.
Yeah.
Do they have anything on them, like pouches or anything like that? Not for coin. Thinking for poison.
Yeah, a lot of them have like pouches that have like a fine reddish powder.
Do any of them?
Oh.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I take my pinky and I lick just the very tip of my nail and dip it in there just to coat a little bit.
Yeah.
And I do like that and then spit it out to see if I get like a numbing or any kind of a tingling sensation or anything at all.
Just roll me a Constitution check.
Is it poison related?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do any of the soldiers have an insignia or anything on them?
Yeah.
Constitution,
Can I
you said?
take one of them?
17.
Okay. So it doesn't it's really bitter.
Right.
It doesn't numb you or hurt you in any way. But it gives you this very fleeting sensation of drowsiness.
I cut 2 pouches off, and I hand them to Navari, and I say, I don't know quite what it does, but it made me feel a little woozy for a bit. Might be of use to you down the road.
Okay. Should I just put red powder in my inventory?
I'm assuming drow sleep poison, but
You don't know that.
yeah.
Did any of them have an insignia on them?
Any of the ebony-skinned warriors?
No. The Emerald Claw.
Skeletons? Oh. There was 4, right? That had the insignia on them.
Yeah, 4 of them
Something
are in
I can take.
uniforms.
I assume they're tattered.
I meant like a necklace or pin or something, kind of like the other dude had that we fought in the alleyway.
Oh no, these guys are wearing like it's part of their their cloaks.
Okay.
And the other really distinctive thing is they're wearing a couple of them have the helmets, which is the half face guard that comes all the way down, which is a really unique thing of the Emerald Claw.
Do they look decayed?
I was gonna say, can I take a helmet off?
No, 4 of them do not look decayed at all, and then the others are like Karnathi military skeletons, which Navari has definitely fought against in her past.
So his number has gone from 10 to 6 50? With who knows how many undead. Yeah. With who knows how many undead. He had 50 undead, 5 mercenaries with him, or 5 mercenaries besides the 2 that they got left on the ship, right?
Yep.
So 5 mercenaries
no,
with
that
him,
was
50
including.
undead.
I think I said how many people was in their mercenary clan, and they said 5.
Okay, so then there's 3 mercenaries, 50 undead whatevers.
Yeah.
Potentially 6 more of their ilk that are living, and Krieg, and possibly a wizard.
Yeah.
Which they never identified.
Correct.
Which I assume is one of the half-faced men, one of the 6. That or he's been invisible this whole time, and he's way more powerful than I want to deal with right now. Oh yeah, and a Warforged. I like cutting them blokes down to size. All right. Well, I've done what I can for this. We've gotten something useful, and we've got some new information in regards to the group. I guess let's follow on. Hopefully this carnage doesn't lead all the way through, because I'm not sure I have the stomach for this.
We're not stopping again, Randall.
I don't intend to, lass. I just hope I don't have to see it the whole way there.
I mean, true. We keep going.
Okay.
Man, it's so good to hear the jungle inside this deep, dark cave.
I really like those birds.
You guys are
they
just
really
getting
echo.
in there, to be fair.
They really echo in this cave. It's really,
I just want to give Ben a hard time. Just a little bit. I haven't picked on you in months, man.
No, you picked on him with Phelan.
Very fair.
Oh, that bird.
No, that's later.
Do you see that bird? Just flew overhead?
I bet. Hey, they probably fly in and out of here all the time, especially the carrion ones.
Maybe one day they'll find Phelan.
Don't worry, lass. I've got something in line for that. Don't you worry.
I can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be a hoot. You're going to see the gesture, and I'll indicate to Navari what the gesture is. Just be ready with some popcorn and a drink, or in your case, one of them fancy apples you always seem to be finding from nowhere.
Ran out of those.
Oh.
As long as you don't scare like Casper.
That's what that?
I don't know.
Scare Casper?
Yeah.
I couldn't quite make out what you said.
As long as you don't scare Casper, yeah.
Casper hasn't done anything to annoy me. Why would I scare him?
I don't know. Accidentally.
It's like, no, Randall's looking at you. I was like, why would I scare him?
Here we go. So as you guys descend onto this like gallery floor of the place, you know that you're not in the, like it's safe to assume that there's higher floors to the structure just based on how big it is, and that there's possibly a lower floor or more as well. This temple is just a complete, it's just this ruin was obviously built for giants. I mean, the ceiling is 30 feet high. The pillars are just absolutely massive. You guys are just like almost like, you know, an insect walking into a person's house, or a mouse in somebody else's home. I mean, this place is designed for somebody approximately 6 times your height.
So this is what people feel like when, like, they step on bugs and they say, no, you don't do that.
So this is what it's like to be like the gnome. I'm just joking. It was a joke.
But even then, it's still like, and as you guys explore this place, you realize that these drow elves that you found slain everywhere probably just lived here. Like, this was just a place they took up residence in. Go ahead. Actually, I'm gonna let you both roll me a history check right now as well, to see if you can remember something of a conversation you had in the past.
You said history?
Yes, please.
12.
So, Navari, you remember talking to Phelan, Lady Eladrin, a few days ago, and they had mentioned that the giant civilization that was here had elf slaves. So some of the structures and things had accommodations for them, which would explain the staircase that was like built to your size, and explain why there's still elves on this strange continent from this lost civilization.
Well, I'll tell Randall that. Remember when we were talking to Phelan and Lady Eladrin, giants had elves.
I mean, stands to reason beings like that might have... I mean, the civilization that was here was mighty indeed. Stands to reason most civilizations have had their experiences with slavery at some point.
Yeah, it just might explain why there was the normal set of stairs, and they probably were just taking up residence here. I mean, it might not be the same group, but could be like descendants or just people that found this place.
Right. Well, hopefully it means that our path is going to be a bit easier.
I was gonna say, or in case of if you're Krieg, they were in the way, so killed them, just like they tried to do with the giant.
They seem to do that with anybody that's not... that doesn't agree with their terms, doesn't agree with what they believe.
Yeah, I mean, why try and force someone to agree with you when you can just kill them and bring them back from the dead to work for you anyway?
Right. I don't know. Well, nothing to it at this point. I suppose. I mean, other than the fact that based on what I'm hearing, these elves may not be our enemies, at least not at first sight anyway.
Yeah, but there is a good chance that not a lot of them are alive, if any. And we also don't speak Elvish. We can try and communicate with them, but...
Well, the hope is that if they... I mean, elves tend to live longer than most of us races, so the hope is that if they are long, either from that ancient time, or at the very least, descendants of those that were, they might speak a bit of the language that we speak. Most races take the time to learn Common, as most humans seem to be the vast majority of race on this planet. Us other races, such as yourself and myself, tend to find ourselves more often than not the minority in groups such as this.
Very often minority.
Yes.
Well, shall we continue to see what else we can find?
After you, Les. I'm on your heels.
Is there any other bodies besides the elves, or is it just the elves here?
In this area, just a few more elves.
I just didn't know if we passed any more Emerald Claw or dead.
Any more bodies?
Yeah.
Nope.
Alright. So as we keep going. I suppose we keep going. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's your daughter, Les. And I aim to bring no harm to her. And all sorts of hellfire upon those that tempted her onto this job.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to...
Nope, on the back of your mic.
have no thing on the back of my...
Really?
Yeah. I have a thing on the front. But I don't know how to...
That's a volume dial, probably.
Maybe.
Can you lift your mic into camera real quick, just so I can see? The other side. Okay, so the back there is just a dial to set it to cardioid and everything else,
Yeah.
right?
I can move it a bit closer if that helps.
Yeah, it'll probably help. Just because your cadence is just small enough that your noise gate is actually cutting you off
Sorry.
as you're saying certain words.
Sorry.
So like you get to the tail end of a sentence and it like cuts off. So like when you said like everyone, that didn't come through at all.
Oh, sorry.
I was reading your lips.
I'll try
when you
and
said things.
I'll try and speak a bit louder too.
Yeah, no worries. Well, yeah, we keep trudging on then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys find a staircase. And you could hear voices speaking common, echoing down.
Any accents?
They definitely sound like they are from Karnath.
Randall immediately stops.
And that's where we're going to stop.
But 15 minutes.
No, that's okay.
Nope.
I figured the 15 minutes was going to be the mark.
That is where we are going to stop for the day.
All right.
Okay. But this
Mhm.
just means you guys have to show up next week.
Right.
Joke's on
Of
you,
course.
I'm not showing up.
Yes, you are.
It's
She won't.
true.
She won't miss it.
It's
No.
true.
No.
I need to find out why my daughter's hiring process is so bad.
It's not necessarily that it's bad. It's, you know,
I think
just,
she doesn't train them very well. Is what the issue
either
is.
that or they're new. Like, you know,
I know,
they're
I'm
young,
just
they're
messing.
new.
Let's take
Don't
them on
worry,
this
Ben. I
date
work
or
at
something.
7:30 next Thursday, so I won't push for a super late game. I
When?
promise.
I think I work a bit of a longer day next Wednesday. I don't know about Thursday, but I think I work till like 6 a.m. to like 3 or 4.
Thank you, Ryzen.
Thank
Oh,
you,
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
Razor.
thank you. Yeah,
Dum,
so,
dum, dum.
but yeah, on that note, we're going to end this tonight. And next week, we are going to obviously start with some swords and spells
Confirmed wizard.
clashing.
Hashtag wizard dies first.
Hashtag murder wizard.
Depends on, you know, who you meet up there.
Unless it's Cassandra, then don't murder Cassandra.
Well, how was he moving the ship before?
Oh, we'll find out, won't we?
That's true.
Next time on D&D and Eberron.
So on that note, I guess good night, everybody, and have fun. And hopefully you guys want to tune in next time as we continue to stumble through a D&D stream.
Their life. Bye.